you like to smoke, guys, Bali, that's the place to go. Gareth's recommendation. It's all good.
Okay,
Bali is actually really wonderful as long as you don't have drugs in your bag.
Okay.
Allegedly. Yeah.
No, they are really. It's a really nice place to go. But my biggest thing was like we got off the plane, and we'd been waiting 15 hours by the time we finally got off the plane. Was that about?
Basically, yeah. From the start of, hey, we're going to go now, like leaving our house to get onto Bali ground. 15 hours.
And
wow.
When you get off the plane, so you know how do Bobbies carry guns now? I can't remember. Did they carry guns when they lived there?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So they're like New Zealand police. We don't carry guns either, but Australian police do. So when you get off the plane there, the first thing you notice is all of the police officers carrying AK-47s. All of them.
That's quite intimidating, isn't it?
It really is.
Worst thing was I was so tired and I had my hands in my pockets. I looked like I was just like, stoned or something like that. And I made I kept fidgeting my hands just because, it's been a long time. I just want to go to bed. Let me go to bed. And basically our tour guide that came out to us goes, hey, how you doing, buddy? Oh, good. Go. And he leaned into me very quietly and he goes, if you're nervous, just don't, because and I'm like, what do you mean? And he kind of looked at me and looked across, suddenly looked at the cop. There was a cop that was looking at me just going, kind of thing, like looking at me going, why is this guy like this? And all I remember is he just went, okay, now I want you to stretch and yawn and say, okay, let's go. So I stretched and yawned and the cop just looked at me and just went, all right then. And I kind of think he was thinking I was stoned off my fucking tits. I was like, I just want a cigarette. Can I get a cigarette, please? It's been 15 hours. Who's got to smoke? Anyone? Fuck cigarette. The fuck is this clove shit? Fuck that.
I felt like that when I got to America. I was there about a month ago, and I went on. Do you guys know the Impractical Jokers?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I went on their comedy cruise, so it was it's a lot of fun. But when I got off the aeroplane, I was like, oh god, I'm gagging for a cigarette sort of thing. But obviously, we actually call them fags, so I had to be very careful not to sort of say the F word, so to speak, over in America.
Yeah, they don't like it over there, do they?
No, not at all.
So, all I want to say is thank you, Gemma, because once in every show that we do, Bex says something in which I do drop the phrase of, if any music makers out there want to have a quote for their new hit song, feel free to use that one. It's normally Bex saying something really, really dirty and or taken out of context. But this episode now so far goes to Gemma, who's just given the lovely quote of, yes, I was gagging for it. So please feel free to music DJs out there. If you would like to use that in any of your songs, feel free. Feel free. Yeah.
Be sure to put Talking Codswallop against the name.
Yeah, big fish, little fish, cardboard box. There you go. You're welcome.
So was it cheaper? I mean, was it cheaper to fly to America from the UK? I mean, it cost us what, $900 return or something?
Oh, that's on special, yeah.
Yeah.
It cost, I think it's about the same, to be honest. It cost me about £500, so I think give or take, it probably works out round about the same sort of price.
Yeah, I'm just having a look because I got my little calculator. Yeah, it is about the same price. You're right.
Yeah, maybe like 100 different sort of thing, but yeah. And your flight is obviously a lot longer, I assume.
Yeah, we do stop over usually in China or
which
Auckland.
Once again seems weird. Well, Auckland's all right, but to go from China to go backwards to go forwards, you know what I mean? I don't understand how the plane worked that out. Maybe those flat earthers do have something.
Hey. Stop that now.
The Gemma's like, no, well, I'm a member of the flat earth. What up, bitch? And be like, oh, fuck.
No. Earth is round. Earth is round.
Yeah. Have you watched the doco on Netflix?
Oh, they contradict themselves.
No, I haven't.
Spoiler, Bex. Spoiler. So I watched it before. We got a new TV and I was watching something just to play in the background on it. And that came on. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I'll see the other side, see what they kind of look into. And they did one right at the end, and I think this is what's been in the news all the time. They do this little experiment where they're like, right, if ABC happens, then the world is curved. It's fine. If ADE happens, then the world is flat, and we win. Haha, everything's awesome. And so they set up this experiment, get it all sorted, everything else like that. And spoiler, they do the thing, and ABC happens. And the guy looks at it and just goes, huh. Interesting. Interesting. And as soon as he says interesting the second time, bang, credits. So I was like, they didn't outrightly say you guys are wrong, but they kind of went, the flat earthers went, if ABC happens, the earth is curved, but it won't. ABC happens, it goes, huh.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was funny. So yeah.
You dropped out of my audio just then.
Yeah, and mine.
Really?
Yeah. Quite nice to have a bit of peace and quiet for a few seconds, wasn't it, Bex?
Yeah. I was going to say, it might have been quiet for you. I can hear him on the other end.
No.
Let's just say I can edit this one later and it goes through my standards, so fuck you. We're talking to Gemma from Talking Codswallops. Hello. In silence for the next fucking hour.
Wow. Just wow.
And you've been listening to another episode of Talking Codswallop.
Okay. We're here with Gareth. Hello. And then silence again.
Okay.
And poor Bex is in the middle, just occasionally just hear her going, yeah, that's funny. So what is it like in Dorset? And then that's it. Just Bex occasionally every now and then.
I like Dorset, thank you.
It's very pretty.
I can think of, okay? Yeah.
It is. We stayed in Lyme Regis when my parents picked me up, and we had our family holiday. It's lovely.
Yeah, it is nice there. You can do a bit of fossil hunting and things like that as well there, can't you?
Well, yes. You walk down the street, there are many fossils walking around. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Oh, I can catch my breath.
That's really funny.
Oh, I'm gonna catch my breath now. Oh no, I loved it. My only complaint about Lyme Regis was we stayed in this dinky old motel kind of place that had pay as you go power. So if you didn't put a pound in the power meter turned everything off. Like, shit, it's the middle of winter.
Okay, that's not good. That's not good at all.
No.
Was that in a hotel?
Motel. It was like
motel,
one of those
okay.
like what do you call it? It was kind of like an apartment, but a motel type apartment. It's an old building. Yeah, it was interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, because normally when you hear the phrase motel and pay as you go, it's normally something completely different.
Oh, Gareth. Not when you're traveling with your wife and 3 kids. I mean, that's gross, remember? Come on.
I'm sure there's been some history. There's been some instances of that happening.
Yeah, only in the National Lampoon's movies. Come on.
Yeah, I should really watch them, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should, because they're hilarious.
There's a lot of movies I should go watch. Although I did find out one thing the other day, which I'm absolutely distraught about.
What?
So you know how my favorite movie is Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that film.
Yeah,
Best film.
anything that those guys do, I will watch. I used to have that. Like, I'm sure my PlayStation 2, if I turned it on with nothing in, would either play the Simpsons movie or Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Just from memory, it would be like, I know what you're doing. It's fine. But the pub that they use for the outside shots,
Yeah.
they've got rid of it now. It's now an apartment block.
Oh,
I'm so gutted. I wanted to go see the pub.
we can still go and see the pub. It just won't be there.
This is where the pub was. It's like, oh,
Yeah, that sucks.
It does.
That does.
But you know, that's our own fault for not getting to the UK soon enough.
But then, to be fair, I've never been to the pub either. So, well, you know, I've been to the pub. I've been to many. I've fallen on many pub floors, but not that specific one.
That's very much a British culture, though, isn't it? Because when I came over, I was 18 and legally allowed to drink. And, you know, what we did on a Friday night after work, because, you know, it sucked working on Fridays, was we'd just bugger off down to the local pub and have a pint. And pint back in those days cost us, what, £1.50?
Yeah. I think it's like $3.50 now. So, yeah. I suppose, you know, it's not that bad. It's not increased that badly. But then we got cool pubs like Weatherspoons type pubs, which are really, really cheap kind of pubs. And they're kind of like student bars in a way, but they're not. But yeah, they're all the nice prices of a student bar, so which is always good. Yeah.
Well, see, I loved it because in Ludlow's known for their restaurants and their bars, and we probably had a choice of about 5 or 6 pubs. We always went to the same one. Our drinks probably cost us in one night maybe £10.
Yeah,
because you know, I was a heavy drinker back then. Because that's just how it works, you know. I would live there when you were still allowed to smoke in the bar.
Oh yeah.
So we'd have our Marlboro lights, our freaking pint in front of us, and we would just shoot the shit for hours, and it was lots of fun.
So what you're saying is that scene in was it Hot Fuzz right at the beginning where they're all just sitting around, that actually happened?
Yes. Yeah, basically.
That's very much the culture. It's a lot of fun in the UK.
That's where I get all my shit from, basically. It's the Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg movies. Be like, okay, so exactly like, you know, in The World's End, that's what, you know, you go for the old bear run, that's what it's like.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Just with less aliens and less Pierce Brosnan, sadly.
Oh yeah.
And also,
here we go.
Have you ever seen the TV program Spaced as well?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that program so much. That house still exists. So if you come over to London,
really,
you can still visit the house. It's in Finchley, I think, or something like that. But yeah, I'll look it up if you ever come over.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, we will, because we've got family in the UK.
Yeah.
We'll definitely hook up with that because, yeah, as I said, there's a lot of places that I want to go to that are like that kind of stuff, like real weird movie references.
Yeah.
And we'll take photos and be like, hey, look, I'm at, like, I know you can still do, I think, in Shaun of the Dead, where they're walking through and they bump into their other, you know, them again kind of thing. You know, they do the pass with each other.
Yeah, they do
that.
That
place is still there. Yeah, that's still there. Like, you can still go to that part and do that kind of thing. So
yeah.
There might be some filming of us walking through it, then changing our clothes, coming back, and we'll just edit it later. There we go. Done.
You know what's sad is that this is what Gareth looks forward to. Me, I'm going, I want to visit all the places I didn't get to go. I want to go to the Tower of London. I want to go.
All those places are overrated.
I know.
Bex is the kind of one. We'll go to the Louvre and she'll be like, oh, look, here's the Mona Lisa. This is such an amazing painting painted back in this day. Like, no one really knows. Is she smiling? Is she not? All this kind of stuff. Who is this person? It's all cool. And look, here's the last redemption of Christ or the last supper of Christ. So look, you can tell all this, all this. It's lovely and wonderful and awesome and beautiful. And obviously they're going, David's got his dick out.
And the worst thing is, he's not lying.
No. I was just going,
but there is this toy store in London. So I've been to Harrods. Harrods is hugely overrated. It's expensive and it's just crap.
And they're very snobbery as well. So like if you go in there,
it really is.
Yeah.
Is Harrods Al Fayed, Dirty Al Fayed? Was that him?
I actually don't know that. So yeah.
Let's say yes, because then I feel smart. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you don't know if you're right, though.
I don't care. I'm taking the approach of fuck it. I said it with confidence, so I was right.
Okay, yeah. And it will mean questioning you out.
Exactly. Yeah. If it's wrong, edit it. It's edited out. It's gone. We do not see this. Yeah.
I'm looking them up.
Yeah. But so while Bex is doing that, so it's quite funny the fact of the Bex wants to go